Hello and welcome back to my channel. If you are new here, I am Disco Kitty the Crappy Crafter. Today we're going to be testing out something new. Now how cool does that look? So, you may remember these, the tiles that I made a couple of weeks ago. So I said I was gonna dome them on the back with a little UV resin, so that'll be the first thing that we do. We'll test to see how well this works just in general, and then we'll test how well it works together as a whole unit that does both sides at the same time. So I'm pretty excited. Let's get right into it. A warning that this video will have some angst, just so you know, lots of me just talking. So, the first thing I'm gonna do is I'm gonna sand these tiles. Do you remember these tiles last week, 2 weeks ago? I don't even remember. I have no idea where this is in the lineup anymore. But, yes, we're gonna sand them because we want something for the resin to stick to. If they're perfectly smooth, the resin will just pop right off. The UV resin will not adhere. Oh yeah, that's nice. That is nice. But I warn you, the angst is coming soon. I should put those on that peelin' feelin'. Okay, so you gotta make sure that all four connectors are facing the right way, and then you can plug it in, or well, you can make sure the shelf fits. Took a little finagling, but I figured out how to put it in there. Yay! So far so good. We'll turn it on. I said we'll turn it on. Yay! It lights up both. It lights up one. It lights up both. That is super cool. That is super cool. I love how the power transfers through. And it shows you the lights are so dim. They really, really need to be a lot brighter. A lot brighter. But it is what it is. Alright, I'm going to get myself a little bitch session out of the way because this is absolutely effing ridiculous. This is the worst. Okay, so 2 pieces. Yay, 2 pieces, right? You gotta make sure that they're facing the right way, because if they aren't, then they don't connect right. That's fine, you know. You plug this in, woo, you plug the other end in. Whoops, I said you plug the other end in, woo, and then you hit the power button on the side that it's got power on, and look, both sides, yay, right, okay, cool. However, when you want to do it like this, you can't, unless you get another one of their cords. I have a lot of cords in this house. USB-A to USB-C, USB-C to USB-C, because these are USB-C, theoretically. Not a single goddamn cord I owned worked with these. Not a single one. Not a single plug that they plug into worked with these. Nothing worked with these. This is absolute bullshit. If you're gonna have 2 pieces that can run separately, either figure out a way to daisy chain them, because you can't. There's only 1 outlet on each. If there was 2 on one of them, you could daisy chain them and have them like this. But no. You have to use the cord provided because nothing worked. Nothing. See, here's my cable for my laptop. It doesn't even light the light. It doesn't light the light. Here's its cable. It lights the light. Right then, now that that's out of the way, let's actually play with some UV resin. Gonna put lots of sparkles in it because, you know, that's kind of the whole point that I'm getting to. I want to have lots and lots of sparkles on the back of these, and my room is so cold and this resin is so cold. I've got to put it in a hot water bath in order to warm it up so it's thin enough to actually be able to spread. It was very, very goopy. It was so cold in here. It was like, I don't know, 65 in here. I don't know. It's winter. Woo. But we're going to put a little dollop on the back of each one. Make sure it's spread out to all the super edges. And then we'll cook it for 5 minutes because it's an option and I love it. And it's all set and ready to go. There did end up being a lot of little tiny micro bubbles on the surface because I was not smart and I forgot to blow them off. But hey, you know what? It's still cool and you can't see them because of all of the glitter. They don't even stick to each other. It's very nice. I'll do the second round. I'm not going to make you watch that, but here we go. Yay. Put them all in a big old pile. Yay. I have no idea what runes are what, so don't ask me what they are. Ironically, that's the only one that had a little bit on the front, and that was the first one that I pulled. I don't know if I felt it or what, but yeah, that was funny. But yay! Woo! It works. Now we're gonna try the double action, just making a little cat butt. The instructions say to actually put the tray in the bottom half of the lamp and then put your molds on the tray and then pour into the molds and then put the top half of the, on top instead of doing this, finagling, trying to slide it in there. Nah. But it works, and this was so hot, so very hot. It had to have been at least 110 degrees. So very hot. If I had known where my laser thermometer was, I totally would have been like, oh, hey, this is this temperature, because the more UV light you put on UV resin, the faster it's going to cook, the hotter it's going to get. Not necessarily a good thing. But it worked out really well. I liked it. There were a couple of sticky spots, and that could have been the resin, that could have been the light, but they say if you have sticky spots on your UV resin to put it in water for a couple of minutes, and I decided to blast it from both sides, and that worked really, really well. And the timer, I put it on the 2-minute timer and I decided to time it, and it was 2 minutes-ish, It's not perfect, but it's better than I was expecting because it felt like it was taking so long. But that's okay because it works pretty well. I would recommend getting it, except for the whole cord fiasco thing. Yeah. Well, that was a little frustrating off camera as I was trying to find a cable because as is my way, I didn't read the instructions. So let's read the instructions together, shall we? Okay, let's start with the product description. Look, they have pictures. They have pictures of the cable. This isn't it. I mean, obviously it's the one that came with it, but it's not the one that's pictured. Anyways, so notice Notice, ensure the working environment is dry and ventilated before use, since it's dry but not very well ventilated. Avoid looking directly at the LED beads to prevent eye damage. I may have looked at them. Avoid dropping or impacting. Good, I did not do that. Unplug the power cable when not in use. So I have a whole bunch of stuff plugged into the same extension, and when I unplugged this, my lights got got brighter. So this is pulling power even when it's not on. So definitely keep it unplugged. Do not use this product near flammable or explosive items. Noted. Okay, so step 1, check all the parts and accessories are included and undamaged. Yes, they were. Step 2, top and bottom halves have to, they have the little thing, whoops, that rotates. Oops. You got to make sure that these are all sticking out and that they're sticking together proper, or the power won't be fed through. Got to make sure that it's all connected and proper. All right, step 3, connect the double-sided UV lamp to the adapter and plug it in. Well, good. It works just like it's supposed to, technically, both sides work together when they are connected and one half is plugged in, and it doesn't matter which half. Insert the plate into the slot. We won't do that because we did that. Remove the lamp and place molds or other accessories on the support plate and start crafting. When complete, cover with the top lamp and press the start button to start the timer button to start curing. It works. It works really well. It really does. Don't get me wrong. Don't take my frustrations as it's crap, because it's not. It works very well. Now, let's get into the important part, the FAQ. The FAQ says, what type of USB cable does this use? The product can be used directly with the included adapter. No other USB cable is needed. Unless you want to use both halves separately, in which case no other USB cable will work at all. Period. I tried how many cables? A lot of cables, probably 23 different cables. Some were USB-A to USB-C. Some of them were USB-C to USB-C. One of them was the power cable for my boyfriend's laptop. One of them was the power cable for my MacBook laptop, which should have been more than enough, but it didn't work. The two of those didn't even turn on the power supply light. There's a little bitty tiny light in here, which needs to be a hell of a lot brighter in order to be able to see it. But yeah, it didn't even turn that on. It didn't turn these on either. And these lights, I tell you what, these lights need to be a hell of a lot brighter too, because it's really hard to see what mode you're in unless you're really looking at it, or like all the lights in your office are off, because it is very dim. It should be a little bit brighter, but that's just me. It's old and blind, you know? Do I have to use UV resin in order to use the UV light? Does it have to charge for a while before using? No, it's a direct power input. There is no charging, just plug it in. How many watts is the light? It's 24 if you use both sides and 16 if you use one side. I'm not entirely sure how that works, but okay. Normal should not blink while it's on. The light should not blink while it's on. That's fine. I love this. I love this part. This one right here. What do you plug the USB cord into? Directly insert the USB socket. Okay, yay. In here, yes, good. Or first connect the USB end to an adapter and then plug the adapter into a socket. It's not USB-C on both ends. You don't need to have an adapter. Who wrote these instructions? Let's Resin, let's get with it, because this is the stars are going down on this one. It started with 5. When I couldn't find a cable to plug in the second one to use them both at the same time, it became a 4. These instructions might make it a 3. I don't know. The one thing that it did do was it made this almost too hot to touch. Like, this isn't that thick. There isn't that much resin there, but because, you know, the more UV resin there is, the hotter it's going to get. The brighter the light is, the hotter it's going to get, because it's curing faster. Not necessarily a good thing. One of the reasons why I like this lamp so much is because this setting is a low heat mode. It starts out at like half power and ramps itself up, because if you try to cure some UV resins too hot too quick, they'll warp. They will warp. That's the word I'm looking for. They will not look good afterwards. I was lucky this one didn't seem to warp at all. But, whew, yeah, it was hot. If I had my laser thermometer, I have no idea where it is, I would have shown you, but it had to have been at least 110 degrees, possibly more. It was toasty. But, yeah, I mean, overall, I really like the lamp. I got it on a Black Friday special. It was like 35% off or something. I don't know. It works well. It does work well. It works for its purposes, especially with the Let's Resin UV resin. I don't have any other brand of UV resin in my possession right now, so I don't know what other UV resins, how they'll work in this. Maybe the next time I go to the doctor, I have to go by Michael's and I'll just pick up a cheap bottle of UV resin there and see how it works, but I'm not really sure. We'll see what happens. But I have been rambling entirely too long about this, and really all I want to say is it really is worth it. It would be more worth it if you could use the two pieces at the same time separately. That is my only beef with it. Like I said, I tried like 20 cables and like a dozen different bricks. Some of them were USB-C, some of them were USB-A, like I said, and nothing worked. Some of my cables would light up the light, and if I pushed the power button, it would light up the timer, but it wouldn't light up the lights. But, and other ones, like the laptop cables, they didn't even light up the power light, so I was just like, whatever. But, really, that's my biggest beef with it, and it makes things super, super hot, because it is really, really bright. Like I said, that's not necessarily a good thing all the time. But, yeah, I have rambled entirely too much, but I will give this a 4 out of 5 stars. It would have been 5 if you could use any other USB cable with it, but you can't. And this says, no other USB cable is needed, but obviously that's bullshit. So, yeah. Oh, this has been quite the wild ride. I wasn't expecting to get... I don't know what I was expecting, but I wasn't expecting this. But it works, and I recommend it, and I am gonna keep using it. And I think you should go get one too. I'll leave a link in the description. But, yeah. While you're down there, like, subscribe, stuff. You know what to do. And, I guess I'll see you next week. Stay safe.